Alright, handstand press. I'm going to run through some drills that I used to do when I was training for handstand press. You're going to just need a mat, preferably some yoga blocks and a strap if you've got one, and a box would be handy, but it's not the end of the world if you haven't got that. So start off in your mat, we're just going to go through some compression drills, working hip flexors and trunk strength, because we need that hip flexor strength when we're trying to press up, pike up into the press. So we're going to start seated position. You can lift any excess booty away, so we're sitting more on our tailbone, and we're just going to aim to lift our feet up as high as we can off the floor, toes pointed. Further our hands are towards our feet, the harder it's going to be. So if you start, even hands behind you, and just raise up, that's all good. Or you can start a little bit further down, and all you're aiming to do is just to raise your feet as high off the ground as you can. And we'll go for reps with these. So both feet together, aim for 10 reps. Lift up, pulling through trunk, hip flexors, just flex, point toes, lift up 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll pair up with this exercise, hamstring opening exercise. We're just going to reach for our toes. Again, you can use your strap here if you haven't got the flexibility to touch your toes. Throw the strap over your feet, walk your hands down, keep a nice straight back. If not, if you've got the flexibility, just grab a hold of your toes, deep breath in, exhale, fold it over. Spend about maybe 45 seconds to a minute in this position, just taking your time to open up your hamstrings. If you feel you can go a bit deeper, just work your hands, over the midline of your foot, interlock fingers. But just take your time to get there, don't rush. I'm going to do another 2 sets of this, but I won't bother recording it so you're bored watching it. But if you're doing this at home, just pause the video and do another 2 sets. 10 reps lifting, aim for a minute with the stretching. Meet me back in the exercises we're going to do. I'm going to give you a few options for the first. You can grab a hold of 2 blocks, maybe even 4 blocks. We're going to go into an L-sit, and there's a couple ways you can work this, just to build up your strength, and you can just work at the level where you're at. So if L-sit's quite hard for you, you could just, using your blocks or without your blocks, push into the floor, bring your bum up off of the floor, and raise one leg up high. Again, working compression strength, hip flexors, abs, bring it down, other leg up. You could go for reps, or you could try just to hold. From here, you can then go into L-sit on the blocks, so push up. If you've got parallettes, you could also do them on parallettes. If you feel fairly strong on the floor, just push into the floor, point toes away, aiming to try to pull your bum back behind you, lift toes up as high as you can. So push into the floor. So there, my abs are almost behind my arms. Lift toes up, lift toes up. From there, you go legs out, pull it back in, hold. So work to the level where you're at. Aim to hold, if you're going to hold the L sit, work to like maybe anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. Second exercise, which is almost like a caterpillar walkout. You could do these over a long distance, or if you haven't got much space, you can just stay on your mat. Start in a press up position. Keep looking in between your thumbs, maybe just slightly ahead. Tiptoe, 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 tiptoe as high as you can. Literally onto your big toe. Step it back. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Push into your hands as much as you can on your tiptoes. Step it back. So aim for maybe about 5 to 10 of these. Stretch out your hamstrings as well if you want after, if it feels nice. So again, go for 3 sets of that. L sit, either just, if you're going to go for the leg raises, do maybe 10 each side, and aim for about 10 to 30 seconds with an L sit hold, or with that wide leg L sit hold. For this next superset, you're going to need your blocks and your strap, and all I've done here is I've just put a strap underneath 4 blocks, 2 stacked over each other. You might not even need them if your hamstring flexibility isn't that great. If you've got quite flexible hamstrings, then do it like this. And then all you're going to need is a box. If you haven't got a box, just do the little handstand walkouts that we was doing a minute ago, just stick with that. But if you have got a box, you're just going to come over, hands either side. You're going to push hands into the block, and we're going to try to aim using our trunk strength. Try to bring our bum up as high as we can and slide our feet up the box. You might want to have socks on for this because it's quite uncomfortable without them. So push into the box, core, trunk strength, push up. Try to bring your bum as high as you can. High, up, up, up. Let your feet slide down. Push up. Slide down. Push up. Go for about 3 to 5 reps there. Go for about 3 sets. And then with your strap and blocks, start off with bent knees, chest to thighs. Go as low down on the strap as you feel comfortable. And from here, all we're going to do, trying to keep our chest to our thighs, try to straighten out the legs. You can go for reps. Holding it for a second, bring it back down. Or you can hold it for time, as long as you want. Hold it for about 30 to 90 seconds, or longer, it's up to you. So I go for 3 sets of that little superset. Aim for about 3 to 5 reps on the box press. Aim for about 30 to 90 seconds, either holding the stretch or go for about 10 reps pushing up into it. So the next exercise we're going to do is elephant walkouts. You can do these feet outside of the mat. I'll demonstrate with that first of all. So here, feet outside of your mat, hands on the floor, about a foot's distance from your hand. Try to imagine you're trying to get your hips over your shoulders. Push down into the floor. Come really light on your toes, really light on your toes. All the weight's in your hands, tilting them forward. When you reach the front of your mat, go back. Then the other option, feet hip width apart. So last exercise we're going to do, we're going to come into this seated position, sitting on our heels, hands just outside of the knees. This is probably a little bit of a modified exercise to the box press earlier actually. And what we're going to do, hands just outside the knees, we're just going to push our bum up as high as we can, pushing into the floor. Trying to push into the floor and bring our head far back as we can. Drop the knees to the floor, push up high. So give them exercises, drills a go, and let me know how you find it.